Good evening, everyone. My name is Kym, and I'm from WeTeachMe. So, what is WeTeachMe? As the public knows it, WeTeachMe is a marketplace for real-life courses. So think of a painting course, a cooking course, a dancing course, for example. That's the type of classes that we have on WeTeachMe. Essentially, a place where you can go to find any type of course. But what the public doesn't see is robust software, the suite of tools that we have in the background that powers all of these courses. Implementing the WeTeachMe software, you can run a course business anytime you want. Now let's focus on the word utility for a second. The WeTeachMe team love utility because we believe the best software solutions, the best technology solve a real-world problem. So before we even put the proverbial pen to paper, we went out to 500 course providers and we asked them, what are the pain points that you experience every single day? What are the headaches? What keeps you up at night? And we discovered two very interesting things. The first one is that the amount of work required to power this type of business is obscene. From choosing a date, choosing a location, sourcing your clients, fielding inquiries, taking bookings, payment processing, sending reminders, sending testimonial requests, it's obscene. So what really happens is the revenue pool that you have shrinks drastically down to here. And for this very reason, alarmingly, within the first 12 months, any course provider business has a big risk of failing. Now, the second thing that we discovered was, even if a course provider gets past this hump, they're very bad at marketing. Every single client that we've talked to need help with their marketing. And even if we find someone that has marketing skill sets, they don't have the time to dedicate themselves to executing a marketing plan. It's a vicious cycle. So the WeTeachMe team put our thinking caps on and we said, how can we create nirvana for these providers? Well, we thought, wouldn't it be interesting if we automated completely the back end for a course provider? So then they don't need to focus 14 hours a week on doing the admin work. They could spend 15 minutes a week doing the admin work. I think that's very interesting. And two, what if then we did the marketing for the provider? What if we took all the courses from our clients and we listed them on WeTeachMe.com and became the go-to place for any type of short course? The marketing pool that we have on our platform will be greater than any single one provider. Now that's powerful. And we've proven that this can work. We've actually developed it. From Convent Bakery selling out their artisan bread making courses 3 months in advance every single time, to Cupcake Central increasing their revenues by 400%. Today they've opened up their 5th store. We distill our core benefits to all our clients in 3 easy to understand concepts. 1, we reduce costs. Where else can you find a dedicated administration assistant for less than a cup of coffee a day? 2, we save them time. Why spend 14 hours a week doing the boring, repetitive tasks when all this can be automated for you? And most importantly, grow revenue. Now, we've actually distilled these 3 benefits down, and we can walk into any client with confidence and deliver on all these 3 key benefits. We've gotten it down to a science that we can repeat over and over and over again. So the business model behind WeTeachMe currently today, what we do is we charge a 3-tiered subscription plan for providers, ranging from $99 a month all the way to $499 a month. We start them off on the lowest plan, and then as they grow, we move them up, because that's how confident we are in the software. For consumers looking to purchase courses, we take 4% of every ticket purchase. So for every interaction on WeTeachMe, we take a cut. Now, what's interesting for us is that's WeTeachMe today, but we're excited about tomorrow because we've identified industry categories that are more valuable than the ones we currently service. Let's say, for example, a cooking school. The customers there book once or twice a year. If you're a foodie, maybe 4 or 5 times. Now, let's imagine a music school or a language school. The customers here book 12 to 24 times a year, 4 weeks at a time, and the average lifetime value of a customer, they stay a student of that company 5 to 12 years. This is ongoing repeat purchase over and over again, and that's what we're incredibly excited about. Now, if you look at the Australian local market last year, it was valued at $5.5 billion. Out of the $5.5 billion, only $500 million was profit. The reason for this is due to the current systems that are being used. They're very inefficient and very ineffective. Alarmingly, most people that we talk to don't even have systems. Even if you look at the provider side, the consumer side of things, last year alone, over 6 million Australians booked a lifestyle type of course. And this is on the understanding that there's currently no easy way to book these courses. WeTeachMe should be front of mind when people think short courses today. But the proof is in the pudding. Since launching 15 months ago, we've processed over $2.5 million in sales, and we've processed over 33,000 tickets. We've injected over 6 years' worth of knowledge into the community. So today, we're asking for $2 million to accelerate our development of the platform so we can expand to the other higher value categories that we've identified at WeTeachMe. We also want to do a big marketing push so people understand that anytime you're thinking about a course, you go to WeTeachMe first. Now, the core team have built WeTeachMe to where it is today, and we're excited about the education space. But what we're incredibly excited about is where we can take WeTeachMe to tomorrow. There's nothing to say that we can't take the technology that we've developed and port it to a large education institution such as a university or a TAFE. So instead of saving 14 hours a week, you could save thousands of hours every month. Instead of saving $10,000 a month, you could save $1 million a year. We've actually done this already. My name is Kym, I'm from WeTeachMe, and like the team say to each other all the time, life is short, book that damn course.
Okay, let's open it up to some questions. Who wants to go first? Larry.
Interesting name.
You won't forget it.
No, you won't. So I like the name, even though I'm not sure that it exactly translates what you do, but it doesn't have to. My biggest concern with, I think, your business model is everybody likes a free ride, and I think the advertising that you bring to the cupcake shop you mentioned is fantastic. The problem that I've got is how are you going to deal with the fact that once they've built up their courses to be full, they've built their database on the back of your marketing and the $1 million or $2 million you're going to spend on marketing, that you don't actually lose them as a client and they simply use it as a means to acquire the first off client?
That's an excellent question. And we've wrestled with this question ourselves as well. We don't believe in reinventing the wheel. We believe in taking what people do best and just copy pasting. So we've looked to other companies overseas to see what they've done, similar companies to us. There's a company called OpenTable, very similar concept to us. And what they've done is they've built out their software side to be so robust that it powers the entire business operations for the clients they service. Essentially, it becomes incredibly sticky. The WeTeachMe software itself powers the entire business. The clients that we work with become reliant on WeTeachMe. If they decide that they sell out all their classes and they turn off WeTeachMe tomorrow, they get back to square one, which is they're spending hundreds of hours of admin work every single day. It's very painful for them to switch off our software. And every single feature development decision we make is catered towards how can we make ourselves more sticky and more embedded in these businesses.
Laura?
Yes, thank you. And thank you again for your presentation. How do you ensure the integrity of the promise that's, again, publicized is actually delivered to the end user? Do you have a self-rating system?
We believe that, again, we let the community moderate. So at first, with all the current clients that we have, we see the courses, we go to the courses. They're mostly established cooking schools, painting schools, etc. And what we tend to find is that the most popular courses on WeTeachMe are the ones that are very well run. For example, Convent Bakery, if you go to the website now and you try to book their artisan bread making course, you won't be able to book something for the next 3 months, mostly because they've created that reputation themselves. And when people go to WeTeachMe to book this course, they see that it's so popular, they see how many people are going, they see all the great reviews and ratings. So the community moderates it.
So I've got a question for you.
Yes.
So it seems as if you have multiple business options in once in terms of your business model, because you just touched on OpenTable, which is a platform play.
Yes.
They don't market on behalf of any of these businesses, yet this seems that in reverse. This is a marketing play. What is it that you see as the ultimate business model in this?
The software side, when we first started, we thought, okay, if we're building a marketplace, what you need are supply and demand at the same time. We said, what are we going to build first? Let's build the supply. How are we going to build the supply? We need to create something which is a no-brainer for these schools or these course providers to implement. So the way that we got there was we created software that they would want to use, which was a no-brainer for them.
But do you looking to build out this as a platform play, or are you looking at being an open marketplace where you have to spend marketing dollars specifically on behalf of those organisations to attract them to your site in order for them to sell stuff?
Both. Interesting. So we've estimated that our cost of acquisition per provider is about $250. Now, even on the lowest plan on WeTeachMe, assuming that they stick with us for a year, most of them stick for longer than that, $1,200 back. We make back the cost of acquiring the customer within 2 to 3 months. So if we're going to find the providers like that, then I think we have a pretty solid business case in terms of acquiring customers.
Have you done that now? So you've had $2.5 million worth of revenue that's come through. How much of that stayed with you?
Let me think. 40% is through subscription fees, 60% is through booking fees. Now, one thing that I mentioned previously was that we've identified industry segments that are more valuable than the current ones we service. And I mentioned language schools and music schools just previously before. This week, we're rolling out software that will power language schools and music schools, and we've signed on 8 music schools to pilot the software already.
Will they use the software in their own business model, or they have to use it through your marketplace?
They have to use the WeTeachMe software in our marketplace, but it powers their business. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
I'm happy to.
It's one way of going about it.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I think it's great. You know, you've done a great job standing there on the circle of death. It's very confidently presented. My question, I think you've addressed 2 compelling areas, which is administration, right? So taking away that pain of marketing. I think some of the questions reflect the fact trying to build that marketing website is potentially a huge investment. My question is, have you thought about partnerships outside of building your own, you know, trying to attract eyeballs to your own site? And I say that because, I mean, being at Xero, I see vertical providers in the cloud space going to market with a vertical solution but using partnerships, you know, for example, Xero. But have you thought about how to actually get to those industries via other partnerships as opposed to trying to build the kind of Uber, you know, online course site? It is a big challenge to try and build that.
You're absolutely right. It is a big challenge. We've explored the option with LJ Hooker with deliverability campaigns, funneling all our courses through to LJ Hooker to display. And we're currently looking at media publications to the same concept as well. Now, the interesting thing is we find that the more consumers come to WeTeachMe, the more inbound inquiries that we get from course providers, because they see that this is where people are coming to find their courses.
I've got just one question on the numbers. I'm aware it's probably the last one. I've been given the evil eye over there. So 2.5 million in sales and a 40-60 split amongst the subscription fee and the 4% ticket fee. Means you've probably made $1 million on subscriptions and 60,000, 4% of 1.5, 60,000 on the actual ticket sales. My concern is that your model is predisposed for you to get as many customers as possible, but isn't rewarded for you to ensure that they get their next level of customers. Wouldn't it make sense to sort of reverse that a bit so it's cheaper for someone to get in, and so you're rewarded when they're rewarded, which will ultimately help you with your marketing cost if that's where one thing is going?
You're absolutely right. I mean, what we originally just thought was a 40-60% split was pretty much industry standard in the similar type of companies that we've looked at. But then by actually finding things like music schools, language schools, TAFEs, for example, what we've actually discovered is that the fee far outstrips the subscription. So that could be a model that we look at rejigging over the next year or 2.
Fantastic, everyone. Well, we're going to have to wrap it up. We do have to keep moving, everyone. So if we can please wrap up WeTeachMe and thank WeTeachMe.